Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Internet Uncapped. I am your host, Evan. Joining me, as always, is Mitchell, or When Will You Learn Johnson. I love that. Um, Today, we are going to talk about a internet personality who recently sort of came on the scene, but he's actually been active for a while. But people just now, because of what we're about to talk about today, have just discovered him, his entire profile, and all of that. Obviously, this is going to be kind of like a one-off episode. There really is no follow-up because there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. But because this is Internet Uncapped, we thought that we would cover on the show. So I want to set a bit of some context for what we're about to discuss. So first of all, we are going to talk about the Wicked for Good premiere, and there's a whole tour of the castmates, the director, all the people involved with the movie, going on all over the world. So they've traveled everywhere. And I would say about last week at this point, they stopped by in Singapore. Now, for those of you who may or may not be familiar, Singapore is a city-state right outside of Malaysia in Southeast Asia. And Singapore is a very interesting place for a couple of different reasons. Number one is that it is the hub of a lot of different types of people, nationalities, and whatever. So a lot of people will go to these really big mega events, primarily on visitor passes, kind of similar to like a visa, but not nearly as extensive. So you sign up, you are there for an allowed amount of time, and then when that's up, you got to get out of Singapore. Right. And then for certain Malaysian nationals, they can go there in between, depending on what they do or what kind of business they have to do. In the case of who we are talking about, Mr. Johnson Wen, also known as Pyjama Man, he came to Singapore for the Wicked for Good event on a 90-day visitor pass. So, and he disclosed that he was there for the event and the rest of the time would be dedicated toward vacation. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is Johnson Wen, also known as Pyjama Man, is a self-described troll most hated, but he is widely seen as an event crasher or an invader or some kind. This is the primary sort of understanding of who we're about to talk about today. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to pull up his profile right now. We're just going to look through it. We're going to look through three, maybe four of the main things that he is actually known for, and then we're going to go straight into the Wicked for Good event, and we'll discuss from there. So, as you can see, this guy has a bit of a look. Doesn't it's a vibe. It's a little odd, a little strange.
Yes.
He's got the scarf. He's got the weird 80s-ish glasses. He's got those friggin' blue hair extensions, the crazy hair, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, stage invader right here. But basically he crashed four events that are worthy of discussion here. So number one was that he actually crashed the Olympic Games last year. I think it was like a 100-meter dash, and he was just on the field, just running around, and security had to like tackle him to the ground. Now the next few are actual concerts by really famous musicians, notably, as you can see, Katy Perry, as well as The Weeknd and the Chainsmokers. I'm going to play for you right now the Katy Perry one, and we're going to do the other three, and then we'll discuss. So here is Mr. Johnson.
There's never going to be another show like it, so just enjoy it, Sydney.
So that was in Sydney, Australia, for context, and he is from Australia as well. So he's an Australian citizen. Next, we have The Weeknd, where he comes on stage. Yeah. So as you can kind of see, Abel is very uncomfortable for good reason. And there's the security guard. And there he go. And then he's on his fucking way. Uh, chain smokers. Also, want to note this is from his own profile. This isn't like other people's profile and they're like posting. Yep, there he goes. Goodbye. So this is basically what he's known to do. Mitchell, do you have any initial thoughts on Mr. Wen?
What a dumbass. It's like stuff like this. Like, you look at um, some of the things that happen between like NBA games. Like recently, a lot of players have been interacting with players on the court. They stepping onto the court and doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
These, at the end of the day, these are human beings. You have to
Mm-hmm.
remember that this isn't just like, oh, they're invincible. No, that's not that's not true. They're human beings at the end of the day. They have families to go back to. Stop trying to do like crazy stuff to them. Like this, you could see, like you said, they look they look very uncomfortable.
They
All
all
of them
looked
look uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, and they're like, "What
Yeah,
the fuck?"
because you don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
No.
Like you legitimately don't. You don't know what these people are trying to do.
Yes.
And here this guy shows up and he's just like, oh, um yeah, I'm gonna put my arm around you. You don't know if they have s- I don't want to say, like
Well,
any type of,
they could be a danger to
yeah,
whoever they're trying
they
to
could have
jump, and
something
that's
on them.
100% correct.
You don't know.
You don't know. That's right.
And
No, and not only that, but like people like this, they don't understand. First of all, they don't understand public safety, like you indicated. Number one, but number two, it's like you're literally ruining the event for the hundreds of people who paid to go to those concerts or the events or whatever. And it's like, what is it for? Like, it's what like it's just I just think it's so inconsiderate. Like you said, it's like these people think that they're invincible, and this is very much true for this person. I mean, it's interesting because he has other videos. I'll actually scroll down a little bit. He has other videos where he's kind of being like really weird on like the train, and he's doing like these kind of like stunts or whatever. And and this is his mindset. It's like I can do whatever I want. Here I am, you gotta like me. And it's almost like these kinds of content creators, they they want to they don't care about how they look. They just want the attention and they want the engagement. That's sort of the dark side of
yes,
internet creation, where you're so enveloped in the game that you think you can do whatever you want without consequences. And I don't know. Now, before we really get into um, the next clip, and I'll stop sharing for now. Um, there is a video that was initially posted. This was right before. Oh, by the way, you're really big. You're like super big.
yeah. What the hell? I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
why.
Anyway, so there was a video that was initially posted that he initially posted right before he entered into the event in Singapore,
Hmm.
um, and I don't want to play it, and there's a very specific reason why. Um, it is clear in the video that he is not within his right mind, and if I show it, I do not want people to speculate what that means. I don't want to speculate what that means. I have my own personal thoughts about what it could be, but due to the fact that people will always mix up, certain mental conditions, mental health, all of that, I don't want to add to that. So I am not going to show the clip, but it is to say that something was not right
Hmm.
in what was showing. And I think that should have sounded off maybe a few of the alarm bells, but not even that. Nobody knew who he was coming. I mean, some people did know, obviously, but nobody could be able to track down the videos and indicate that he was in immediate danger in time to prevent this from happening. So the next video, this is actually a very in-depth video from one of the people who was right in front of this as it was happening, and they go down beat by beat what happened. So this is a fan for the Wicked for Good. This is a Singaporean user. I'm just gonna do this right here. And we're going to play this clip. I'm going to try to have it as full screen as possible, but Instagram's kind of weird, so hopefully you guys can see it properly. Oh, oops. That's not Johnson, to be clear. This is the user. There they go on the yellow brick road. There he just charges in right there. Cynthia Erivo fucking pushes his ass, protects her.
Ariana, are you okay?
Trying to get back in the group. So this is him after the incident. He's just dancing. He's just like enjoying life. I mean, something is going on. And now right here, you see that he attempts a second time to get to Ariana, and they fucking tackle his ass and get him the hell out. So I'll just say this before I let you speak, Mitchell. It's to say this. I just a lot can be done, and a lot could have been prevented. Absolutely, right? But I think it's to say that this is a good learning moment for people to understand that we live in a very dangerous world right now. And we indicated like anything can happen, and a lot has been going on, and there's a lot of uncertainty. For people like this to violate a social contract of not touching someone, I just find incredibly gross and disgusting. The fact that he thinks that he's entitled to go in there and jump whoever they want and to get this like viral moment or whatever, it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't touch people without their consent. You can't. I mean, he doesn't even know her. First of all, he doesn't know any of these people. And to be like this sort of crazed fan or this, troll or whatever, it's all. It is so delusional, and frankly, it is entirely just completely socially unacceptable on all levels.
I agree. He needs to be made an example of.
Yes.
You can't allow for someone like this to like just go ahead and do something like this. That's insane. He knows what he's doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be a rocket scientist to go, maybe I shouldn't jump over this, and
maybe I shouldn't charge at Ariana and like scratch her in the neck. Like maybe I shouldn't do
you
that.
scratch their neck too. That's crazy.
No, yeah, because what happened was when he grabbed her and he pulls away, and he kind of like, I don't know if it probably was an instinctual thing, but he literally scratched her like that as he was being pulled away. It was crazy.
Yeah. Again, he needs to be made an example of.
Yeah.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's that
Absolutely.
simple. To be a donkey brained idiot like that, yeah, you're an idiot. Like it's just dumb. Why do that? There are people. What if someone is just the biggest Ariana Grande fan, and this is the only time that Ariana will ever come out there. Well, now you just ruined the experience. You legitimately ruined it because you wanted to go ahead and do something for clicks because you're selfish. That's what it boils down to me. It's just selfishness, and clearly they like this person doesn't care. They're just worried about their TikTok, Instagram, etc. fame. They're not worried about like this person who's in the video. Once it happens, you hear like, oh, like, Ariana, you okay? You okay? And yeah, it just, I don't know, craziness.
Yeah, and shout out to Cynthia Erivo, who within seconds she was like, "Get away from her!" and she pushed that bitch out of the way. Move, bitch, get out of the way.
Yeah, no,
Cynthia Erivo, my lord, bravo to you, girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like truthfully did a better job in security.
Truly, yeah, no,
And
100%.
the other part too that I just think is insane is he started emoting on the security guard, started dancing in front of them like, yeah, I did that. And uh,
Yeah, that's right.
if you know, I've been at concerts, I've been at gatherings and comic cons, things like that. I've been at events.
Mhm.
They're like you said, a social contract. I went to go see Jay and Silent Bob because the movie Clerks 3 had come out.
Mhm.
So when I went there, you know, I I saw Jay and Silent Bob. They told us no cell phones. They said no cell phones when you're meeting Jay and Silent Bob. And I was like, oh, okay, okay. I'm not gonna do anything that they said. They said no cell phones, no cell phones.
All right.
And I went in there and they were like, yeah, man, like, oh, how you liking the event? And I talked to them for a second, as much as they allow you. And I left. Now, after that, I went to go see Dante. I went to go see uh, Daryl. I went to go see the rest of the cast.
Mhm.
Randall, not Daryl. Randall. I went to go see the rest of the cast. And when I went over there after seeing Jay and Silent Bob, I asked, hey, is it okay if I could take a photo? And they said, sure. That's all you have to do. Like
That's
they're
all you have to
human
do.
beings. Just talk to them. You don't just sit there and just say, "Well, I want to go ahead and I want to do this, so I'm going to go do it." That's not how it works, pimp. Like, what are you doing? Like, to me, again, just wild that um, this person just chose to jump over like that and to do that. Um,
Yeah, and this is the wild part. This has been covered on multiple angles in multiple different ways. This is obviously the most comprehensive account that I can find of like footage of the event itself. We're gonna get into one other thing before we move on, but before I do that, I will say this. The person filming this video in particular, you can see it right here. His hand is on right reaching out for her to sign something. And Ariana's like, looking and saying hi and all of that. And then within seconds, bam, he goes right in there. And it's like, how inconsiderate do you have to be? And that's the thing, is that he completely destroyed the whole vibe that of for all the reasons, her being uncomfortable, Cynthia Erivo, the security, but also the other fans behind the barricades there. Um, and by the way, you got to have some ginormous balls to be committing a crime as a foreign national in Singapore. Okay,
mhm,
Mitchell, this is a country where if you even consider littering on their ground, you are going to get a hefty fine. Okay?
mhm,
You could be in jail for the most minute reasons over there. Like, they are a free society and they can do whatever they want, but bitch, do not mess with the Singaporean people and the Singapore government. It's like you really have to be a special level of stupid in
mhm.
order to think you can do whatever you want in Singapore of all places.
Yeah, and like you said, it's you go into you go to another area and you try to do stupid stuff like that. I mean, I can't. it's it's dumb. It's so dumb. And like you noted, he's from, you said, Australia, right?
Australia, yep. On a
And he
90-day visitor pass into
yeah, and he
Singapore.
and he pulls this. That's getting revoked.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
People online have been saying, like, you need to ban him from coming into Singapore ever again. I mean,
Hmm.
that's how severe and serious. Like, not only are it's like all the Wicked fans, all the Singaporeans, all the Ariana Grande fans, they are out for blood, and everybody can. I mean, nobody is defending this guy. Everybody was like, "What the hell? This is awful, horrible, horrible, horrible." So we're gonna get to this next part before we really wrap up. Um, but he posts a video on his side of the event. We're
Hmm.
not gonna really see the video. I do want to read the caption because this really Obviously, we're kind of repeating ourselves a little bit, but this is the most telling part about who this guy is and what he is about. So I'm gonna go back to his profile. We're gonna go to this um here. So this is what he said. Dear Ariana Grande, thank you for letting me jump on the yellow carpet with you, heart. No. No, you're not going to frame it like that. Nobody, Mitchell, if I let's do some role play here. If I was
Mhm.
to one day I decide let me go to your place of work where you don't know that I'm there, where it's completely unexpected, and I'm going to jump you without your knowledge. Mitchell, do you think that's going to be funny, or do you think you might sock me in the face?
I'm socking you in the fucking mouth. No questions
100%.
asked. I'm punching you, Evan. I'm punching you right in the
You're
fucking
punching,
mouth.
you're kicking, and you're doing the 9 yards until I'm bloody to a pulp. Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so crazy to me that you can justify your actions by saying that the person let me jump on you. No. No, 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 no. You are not playing this game today, sir. Um, and so in the aftermath of this happening, the videos are now gone, but there were videos on this profile of him being released after being arrested after the second attempt to try to get to Ariana. And what does he do? In the airport, he goes, I was freed. And then he does his little stupid dance there. And so a few days after that, he is then charged in court. So we're gonna go now to the last part of the video, and then we are gonna wrap it up for reals.
Hmm.
This is a article from MSN. Shout out MSN, and they go over some of the recent developments of how things have transpired. Um, Basically, what happened? I'll just gonna scroll down really quickly. They go over pretty much everything that we went over. So basically, he was arrested and charged with being a public nuisance, and he pled guilty to the charge. Basically, just today. Obviously, their time it was like earlier in the day, but I don't know. Time is a flat circle. Um, so basically, he was charged with the next day. The original charge, as I understand it, was that it was going to be initially, I think it was like 3 months in jail or a $2,000 fine, $2,000 Singapore currency. But the defense wanted to settle on 7 days
Hmm.
instead of 3 months. And the judge decided, no, we're not going to do 7 days. We're not even going to do 3 months. But we are, but because it was a first offense, we're going to do 9 days instead. So the basically he Pyjama Man said in mitigation that he wouldn't do it again. And when District Judge Christopher Go asked if he was just playing lip service, the influencer insisted that he was going to stop. So here's what the judge said in front of him. The judge says, it does not appear that you had faced any sort of consequences for your past actions, and perhaps you thought the same will occur here. That is to say, you would have suffered no consequences for the same acts. Mr. Wen, you are wrong. You should be mindful that there are always consequences for one's actions. It was fortunate that something bad did not occur. You seem to be attention seeking, thinking only of yourself and not the safety of others when committing these acts. So let me just say this: the profile fits the crime. You couldn't possibly say, well, clearly he didn't do anything. It's not like he had like 3 or 4 different events that you could point to where he was a repeat offender. It's like, what do you think is going to happen? That's exactly what the judge said. What do you think is going to occur when you fuck around, you find out? And he found out. And especially considering this is, I mean, I'm surprised that nobody knew about him during the Katy Perry thing or the Weekend or the Chainsmokers. It had to be the biggest platform on the planet in order for him to get got. I just, and again, I'm not blaming anybody. This is nobody's fault whatsoever. I just wish that there was an easier way to detect uh, troublemakers, violators like this, so that people can remain safe, people can have a good time, and they don't have to worry about these fuckos, messing up these big, giant, like red carpet events, such as these.
Yep.
And then lastly, here's what I will say. So, as the as when imprisonment begins to circulate online, people have expressed their delight at the judge telling the influencer he hoped jail time would end his behavior for good, whether that's intentional reference to the name Wicked reference or otherwise. I think there was one more part that it didn't go over. Yeah, basically, it doesn't really say in this article, I don't think, but pretty much he was saying that he was regretful and he wasn't going to do it again or whatever, but that's bullshit. He probably might do it again. It
Hmm.
doesn't seem like he's even within his right mind. So basically, he is 9 days in jail. I don't know whether they revoked his stay or not. I have to believe by the time he gets out, they're going to just deport him back to Australia. I think that's
Yeah.
probably what's going to happen. Mitchell, any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
No. Just pretty much we said everything. I think this guy is clearly a danger. The way that he goes ahead and he's jumping over the barricade, doing all this crazy stuff. It's unnecessary, and he needs to be taken care of. And I'm not saying that in a threatening way, like take care of him, bring him out back.
You
I'm
do
not.
it. Yeah.
What can I
Yeah.
do for you on the day of my daughter's wedding? No, I'm not saying it like that. How I'm saying it is, this guy, the way that he is acting, he's a danger to those around him,
Yeah.
and he's a danger to these celebrities, and that shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't have to worry, oh, is this guy going to come in and attack me? Like, that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, and also I forgot to mention this at the top, but he did plead guilty at the time, and that was to basically admit obvious, incredibly obvious guilt. There was no way he was going to get out of this unscathed, for lack of a better term. So he got pretty much. All right, so that I think will do it today. I will just end this by saying, you know, there is kind of an internet culture, especially on Instagram. I've noticed about being like a brand or like trying to sell yourself in order to get engagement or clicks or content. And I understand people have their prerogatives. We have our own. We're
Hmm.
not super active on, social media, in the way that a lot of these influencers are, but
Yep.
it's to say people got to do what they have to do, right? But when you're actually like being a public nuisance and none of this is really funny. I mean, I think that he thinks this is all a joke. And when you have someone like that who thinks it's all a joke and is really just endangering the people around him, you know, you really just have to understand, like, people have to do what they have to do, and sometimes the actions lead to consequences. And I think, unfortunately, even though it was a year of this kind of behavior, uh that the consequences caught up to him. They essentially caught up to him.
Well,
um
I actually got someone that can go ahead and sum it up for us perfectly.
all right, sure, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
All right, ban Raiden Rotari. Consequences have actions, pimp.
Consequences do have actions, pimp. I 100% agree. Bravo. Okay, so that being said, thank you so much for joining us on this mini-sode of Internet Uncapped. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Check out our show on Spotify as well. I will be updating with all of our main show episodes. Until next time, we will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.